Okay, guys, we're on the air, and today, right now, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin gospel. I'm going to try to talk about Bitcoin for the next 20 minutes and pour as much of knowledge and mainly heart and passion into this, because you need to understand that Bitcoin is here to stay. And yes, there's a chance for it to go to zero, but I think that chance is very slim. And I would like to share with you my Bitcoin story. Yeah, I heard about it many years ago, many years ago. Today it's 2025. I probably heard about it when it came out. That was 2009, I believe. So I heard about it in 13, 14, 15, everyone, Bitcoin. And I was just like you. I don't understand it. I don't want it. I have no clue. I cannot feel it. All the stuff that everyone says, which it's true. I'm not here to tell you that this is not true. You can feel it. It's weird. It's hard to understand. And like everyone else, I just blew it off. Because it's so easy to just blow it off and say, you know better, and you just blow it off. Blew it off for many years, and then I have a dear friend that I gotta give credit to. And him and I, we stayed in touch after school. Long story. Anyway, we stayed in touch, and so I went to meet with him, and he started a crypto fund, okay? A big crypto fund. And I sat in his office and he explained to me, that's 2018, okay, 2018. He explains to me about Bitcoin, and that's after Bitcoin went to, I think, $20,000 and crashed to $3,500 or $2,000, something like that, 2018. And I'll never forget, I sit with him and he explains to me about his crypto fund, and at that point I'm opening my mind a little bit, and I really encourage you to open your mind. Open your mind. So I sit with him, he explains, and at the end of the meeting with him, and that's what I really want to convey to you right now. At the end of the meeting, he says to me, Adam, what do you care? Buy some. And I looked at him, and I thought about it, and he looked at me, and he said it again. He said, listen, you have $100, you have $500, buy some. What do you care? I mean, buy it with money that you're willing to lose. Okay, at this point, it's like a gamble. When you first go into it, it's like a gamble. Buy some. What do you care? With something you're willing to lose. And that really clicked. And I did that. I went in there. I went on Coinbase. You can buy Bitcoin in many different ways. We won't get into it right now. But I went and I bought some Bitcoin. And it's true. Once you buy it, you go into the rabbit hole. Okay, that's when you really start to engage, understand, try to understand more than anything. And that moment changed my life. And I'm here to try to change your life. And I am telling you right now, what do you care? Buy some. If it's $20, $10, whatever you can, buy some. And if you can, buy it over time also. Don't just buy once and forget about it. A lot of people do that. I helped people buy Bitcoin 2-3 years ago. They bought it. They never really kept up with it. And of course, now they want to know how much they have, and they can't find it. And these things do happen, and we're going to kind of dig into that here in the next few minutes. Because Bitcoin is a fundamental change for anything and everything you ever knew, thought, or understood about financial markets. Okay, it's totally different, and we'll start digging into it. Okay, right now, right here. The first thing is you need to understand custody. Okay, custody. You can buy Bitcoin, and you can self-custody it. Self-custody means that you are the one who are holding the keys. You're the one who's holding the entire value of that, okay, you have full control over it, over the Bitcoin, which is essentially code, essentially. You are the one in charge. No one's there to save you. And that's one of the biggest changes and fundamental changes and paradigm shifts that we go through when you go into the world of Bitcoin. And I'm not talking cryptocurrencies. I'm talking only Bitcoin, okay? Because we can talk about the other ones and you could make money there, but Bitcoin is where it's at, okay? And that's the one you need to understand and to engage with the most. So self-custody, that's one way. That's when you buy it and you take it off the exchange, or if you buy it from a friend, okay, or buy it from, or get paid for it in a certain way. Is if it's there's a cold wallet, there's a hot wallet, there's exchanges, okay. So if you buy, let's say you buy, I don't buy on Coinbase anymore. I moved to Strike. Let's say you buy on Strike. That's on the exchange. You can remove it to the exchange to your own either cold wallet or hot wallet. But the point is that you have the ability to self-custody. And yes, if you lose the keys, if you lose your wallet, the money's gone, okay? But that's the whole point of it, because you don't want to be dependent on the sick financial system, the fiat system, that's just terrible, and we can talk about that a lot. But banks are the evil of the financial world. They are. It's just a fact. You can admit to it. You can't admit to it. Yeah, they're great. And yeah, I like the banks also because they lend me money for my real estate ventures, and it's great, But at the end of the day, banks, it's all corrupt, okay? The whole financial system is corrupt. Not the bankers. The bankers are great and a lot of regulation, but they just print money like crazy, like what's happening in the last few years. And your value of the dollar is just going down, and inflation's going up. And, they have, for every $1 you deposit in the bank, they can lend 12. Where's that money coming from? What is it backed by? What's the intrinsic value? Or what's the supply? You just basically losing, and that's what Bitcoin solves in many ways, okay? Solves for. So self-custody, you got to understand that part, okay? The other thing about Bitcoin is it's what's called transparency, okay? There's a ledger, okay? There's a whole science behind Bitcoin, and it's a huge science, and I really recommend you spend some time on it. They say it takes 100 hours to understand Bitcoin. I think it takes even more. It takes a very long time to understand the science behind it. There's a blockchain. What's a blockchain? Try to learn about that. Try to learn about it. Blockchain essentially is a set of transactions that the system says, okay, all these transactions took place. So there's a consensus mechanism, okay? There has to be a consensus. All the miners that you hear about, that's basically computers that do calculations all the time. And they all agree at the end that these transactions took place in this block, and every 10 minutes there's a new block, and they say, okay, all these transactions took place. They close the block, and it's blockchain because every block is chained to the next block, and it keeps it all the time in check, all the time in check, all the time in check. Transparency, consensus, and it's a distributed ledger. I'm no programmer, so I don't really go on there and understand what's going on, but it's all public, transparent, and there's a consensus mechanism. So there's the miners, and the miners basically get rewards. And what's important to understand also is that there's only going to ever be 21 million Bitcoin ever. So the supply is capped. Super important to understand that. No one can say, oh, we're going to issue another million Bitcoins, or we're going to issue another, or it's going to grow to 30 million in 2 years. It's it's a capped supply. That's the bottom line. That's what you need to understand. It's a capped supply. There'll always only be 21 million Bitcoin. So that creates scarcity. And that's the problem with the US dollar. There's no scarcity with the US dollar. The US dollar is just a piece of paper that they keep printing over and over, and it's not backed by anything. And that's why your buying power keeps going down, because they just keep printing more money. Economics, at the end of the day, is very simple. Supply and demand dictates everything. Dictates the price. And it's all about supply and demand. More supply, less demand, prices crash. But if the supply cannot get more, cannot increase more, that creates scarcity, okay? The demand is always growing, and you can see that. Bitcoin is being adopted faster than the internet back in the 90s, okay? We're still early. Everyone thinks, oh, it's 100,000, I can't buy. First of all, you don't need to buy a whole one. You can buy a fraction. You can buy small amounts of Bitcoin by putting $10, $20, $30, $100, whatever you have. Whatever you can afford, you can spare to buy, you can easily put it into Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be a full one. And truth be told is it's best not to look at the price also, okay? The price keeps going up and down, and there's a lot of volatility. And if volatility is actually very good for Bitcoin, and it's very good for you as an investor. If it wasn't volatile, then it wouldn't be the right asset for you. So Bitcoin, scarce, there's a supply constraint, the demand keeps increases, the price keeps going up. That's what we're seeing, okay? That's what's happening. Bitcoin has been around for 15, 16 years now, something like that. It's been showing consistent returns. So you want to look at the track record. And so it's showing consistent increase in value. Okay, so that's something, that's an indicator. It indicates something. It says something about it. And the adoption keeps growing. And everyone now is talking about having the U.S. has the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and now all the corporate companies are putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet and all these fancy words. The bottom line is they're buying Bitcoin, okay, and they're holding it. And there's a few rules. One is never sell your Bitcoin. Never sell your Bitcoin. Never sell your Bitcoin. Now, I've sold Bitcoin, and chances are I will sell. But the idea is that when you buy it, you don't want to sell it. You want to hold on to it. That's part of investing, and that's part of the motions of getting into Bitcoin, is really understanding that, when it goes down 30%, 40%, and it will happen, you don't freak out and panic sell, okay? You don't freak out and get on your phone and sell immediately because it went down 30%. If you're going to do that, then better not buy it, okay? You want to be able to weather those storms. You want to be that captain that doesn't jump ship, okay? And if you do it historically, you will come out on top, historically, okay? Historically. So, yeah, I mean, it's just super hard to grasp as a whole, okay? But you just have to look at the basics, okay? The basics is that it's increasing in value. No one ever hacked the system. It's one of the most secure systems that were ever engineered, okay? Which is amazing, just amazing. And it's just one of those things that you have to take a leap of faith. And once you get into it and you get more comfortable with it, and you're either going to keep buying, and you might not, and that's okay also. It's not for everyone, and if it's not for you, well, it's going to be eventually your loss, and there's nothing we can do about it. We can just sit here and tell you this is what, maybe you should look at or should do, we're basically we're gonna buy the Bitcoin maximalists or the Bitcoin people that like Bitcoin. We're gonna buy your Bitcoin when you sell it for lower. Like, that's how it's gonna work. Okay, so if you buy it and it goes down 30% and you panic sell, chances are I'm gonna be the guy buying it. And if it's not me, it's another guy, or another girl, of course. Everyone should buy Bitcoin. Yeah, and you should buy Bitcoin for your kids. You should, because it's gonna be here forever. And you should definitely listen to people that know way more than me, for example, or from a lot of other people. Like Michael Saylor is great. Anthony Pompliano is great. There's so many great people out there. Antonio Antonopoulos, he's a Greek guy. He's amazing. Seyfedan Amos is a great one. Lynn Alden, Raul Pal. I can sit here and put names all day long, but you just have to start getting educated, okay? And understand that it's super complex, and it's super complex science, and it's going to be way beyond, it was and it is way beyond my comprehension, and my brain cells and neural networks just can't really grasp it. But they can grasp that there's something going on here that I want to be a part of, and I don't want to be left behind. Okay, that's what I try to bring to you. Like, you can choose to be a part of something new that's been proven over and over again, and it's been just an amazing experience and an amazing journey. You can be part of it, or you cannot. And you'll join at some point, because everyone joined the internet at the end. Everyone. Today, there's not one person that didn't join, that doesn't know what internet is. That's what's going to be with Bitcoin. It's very simple. Simple. That's just the way it is. So you're not going to join now. We'll see you in 15, 20 years. It's all good. You buy Bitcoin for the price that's right for you. Okay? You get into it when it's right for you. And don't hit yourself over the head. Believe me, everyone's doing it, including myself. I started buying it when it was $3,500. I bought my first Bitcoin for $3,500. Today, it's $106,000, I believe. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I got in late. That's my point. And I buy it now, and it's $106,000. Guess what? I'm buying it. I have it in my phone. I can show you. I will show you. I'm still buying at 106. I'm not sitting here and saying, oh, it's too late. My pride won't let me buy Bitcoin. I'm better than that. No, you buy Bitcoin for the price that's right for you. And you need, the way I see it, is what's called dollar cost average. DCA. I'm not inventing anything here, okay, guys? I'm just taking stuff that I heard and I apply it. And I'm here to share it with you. And you can choose whatever you want. DCA, dollar cost average, is when you basically keep buying an asset. It can be stocks, it can be bonds, it can be all the Wall Street junk. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I mean, you can, but it's junk, and it's just the worst. It's the evil. Or you can buy Bitcoin, and you just keep buying it over time in chunks, little chunks, okay? Let's say, you can spare $100 a month or $100 every 2 weeks. You can go in there and you can put an automatic buy order that you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin every 2 weeks. And it just keeps going. That's DCA. Or if you're a businessman and money sometimes comes and sometimes it goes, or every time there's a little bit of money, you want to take a chunk, a little bit, maybe 5,000, 10,000, whatever you can spare. Maybe it's 500. Doesn't matter. The moment you have a little bit of money saved, buy some Bitcoin and do it consistently over time. Change your life. Change your life. You keep it in the dollar, in your bank account, just going to lose value. You're not going to increase in value. It's not going to be no store of value. It's just your buying power keeps going down. You buy Bitcoin, your buying power keeps going up. That's how it's just been working. That's how it is. So it's your choice to either ignore it or join it. At some point, everyone's going to join, and we'll definitely be here to talk about it, to enjoy it together, to benefit from it, and to basically commerce with it. You know, it's already happening. People are doing deals with Bitcoin, loans, buying property, exchanging goods and services. It's just something that it's coming more and more to the mainstream. And the sooner you start adopting it, the sooner you start opening your mind to it, the better off you'll be. Again, for sure, it can go to zero. It can do nothing for you. There's a chance. There's a chance. But I think that there's a bigger chance that if you don't get on this wagon, you're going to be just left behind. And I don't want to say you'll be sorry, but you'll just kind of be left behind. And I don't think you want that. I don't think you do. So I'll just kind of finish up and say, what do you care? Buy some Bitcoin. But be smart about it. And know what you're doing and where you're storing it and how to get it later. Don't be like my friends that bought it 2-3 years ago and now are looking for it and trying to understand how much they have, and they're playing catch up, okay? And that happens. But just buy some. What do you care? Know how to do it. If you have any questions, just go online, ask the questions, go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, go to whatever you want. Get a little bit of education. And then start getting into the game and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride, because it's a ride. It's a ride, and enjoy it. And I just really think that Bitcoin is the future. So thank you so much.